Other than what's been stated in court, has anyone promised you anything to get you to plead no contest to this charge?
No, sir.
You in any way to get you to plead no contest?
No.
Decision to plead no contest is yours to make. It's of your own free will.
Yes.
Because you've just told me those things, you understand you can't come back at a later court hearing and tell me your plea today was the result of a threat or a promise or some sort of duress or coercion that you're not telling me about because you just told me those were not factors. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. You are going to be pleading no contest to that count one, which is failure to inform on a welfare fraud charge of $500 or more. That maximum penalty would be 4 years incarceration and or a $5,000 fine. Court would also collect DNA samples. So the question for you is, those are the maximum penalties. That's not what your sentence agreement is, but you understand those maximums. Is that fair?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. You could have had a trial in this matter, and at that trial, you would have had certain rights. You're going to give up those rights, and I just want to go over some of them with you. At a trial, you'd have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, and to require the prosecutor to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are guilty. At a trial, you'd have the right to have any witnesses against you appear in court. You would be able to question those witnesses, and if you needed witnesses for your defense, I would order them to appear. Finally, at a trial, you'd have the right to remain silent, meaning you could choose to not testify. That silence or that choice to not testify would not be used or held against you. But if you wanted to, you could testify at the trial. Do you understand each of those rights and that by pleading today, you'll give them up?
Yes.
All right. You have a couple of other appeals rights that attach to your trial, and because you're not going to have the trial, you're going to give them up too. First of all, you have an automatic appeal. failure to inform on welfare of $500 or more. How do you plead to that?
No contest?
Okay, council, I've had a chance to review the Officer of Inspector General report, investigation report, 12108, 112994. And my question to you is, do you believe there is adequate information in that report to substantiate the element charge to which the defendant is pleading?
I do, Your Honor. I'm satisfied that it does.
Defense is satisfied.
All right, I believe that there's more than enough information.
Upon order of continuance, it's signed by Mr. Cooper. I see a prosecutor's name on that, Mr. Cooper.
Judge, we sent it over after it was agreed to by Mr. Regier. We sent over this all happened yesterday, and it's a long story, but this is what we were told is the
Okay.
And we don't ask for continuances at the last minute a lot of times, so it just
right. So, Mr. Regier, I don't think I understood what you had said before we went on the record.
Your Honor, the state was, although the state understands that there were certain discussions between counsel for the defense and my office concerning setting this matter over. I myself had not received any orders per se.
All right. Well, I do see the order's been filed, and I will approve that at this time with the case being set over to March 26th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Defendant and counsel must be here at that time, ready to proceed to trial.
And Your Honor, just for purposes of clarification from the state's standpoint, did the state hear the court correctly in that there is not a signature for myself on that proposed order?
I did not see that, Mr. Regier, but I understood you did not have an objection.
Your Honor, the state does not object to setting this matter over, and if the March 26th date is the date proposed to by counsel, the state does not object to setting that over, as that should provide my office sufficient opportunity to issue the necessary subpoenas.
All right, thank you. And that matter is removed from the docket today.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Missy, could you step in here for a minute? And it's something I clicked. This time I'm sure I clicked it.
Okay.
There it is. I found it. I just closed out the other one and found it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I thought there's something wrong with this. I need to see if I
The
can-
cords maybe.
Yes.
No, that's- All right, let's take up the Glover case, if the parties wish. Will be on the record in 2023 TR 1470, State of Kansas versus Miranda Lee Glover. Please announce appearances.
Jared Regier on behalf of the state.
All right, let's see. 38. Okay. All right, so Ms. Kingston, just stay mute. And we will get to you when we get to your file. So, DDC. EDC. EDC, can you hear me? Oh, we have Kingston file now. All right, it's Kingston, you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, Council Davis?
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
So, let's see, this is case number 240-4601-801. Go ahead, Council Davis.
I'm Maurice Davis.
Well, first of all, before that.
P seven six
Continue,
two zero three,
Council.
appearing with Jessica Kingston, who's present appearing via Zoom. Ms. Kingston, state your name.
Jessica Kingston.
I'll wait for Marie to charge and plea of stand mute.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Court date is February 11th, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Jones. Okay, it's Kingston, couple of bond conditions. There is no driving without a valid driver's license. So that includes motorcycles, mini bikes, automobiles, golf carts. And there's no drinking of any alcoholic beverages. You cannot possess them. You cannot purchase them. Let's see what else? Cannot sell them. Basically, I don't want you around any alcoholic beverages. You understand that, Ms. Kingston?
I understand.
Okay. All right. And Council Ragnan,
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
what's your recommendation, please?
P-23-157 on behalf of the people. People are asking for $25,000 personal bond. She has a prior from December 20th, 2016. She was involved in an accident on this case, Your Honor, but it is back from December 14th, 2022. So we'll ask for a personal bond. Thank
Okay, $25,000 personal bond.
you. Yes.
And Council Davis, any objection?
There's no objection. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay, all right, Ms. Kingston, bond is $25,000 personal bond. You understand the court dates?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So- And you understand the bond conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That concludes your arraignment. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
DDC. Good afternoon, sir. Do you have a copy of the list?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. We can go down the list.
Copy that, right now.
Okay, DDC. Ma'am, by understanding number 4 is a minor. Well, let's just put that off until the very end.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, the gentleman in front of DDC, what's your name, sir? All right, Mr. Drayton, I'm Magistrate Charte. You're here on a criminal matter, case number 240-6067-502, meaning you are defendant two in this case, sir.
Is my
Go ahead,
lawyer?
counsel.
You're muted, Mr. Reagan.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Philip Ray on behalf of Mr. Drayton. Good afternoon to you and your staff. Ms. Douglas, good afternoon to you. We waive the formal reading, stand muted this time. He has been advised of the rights, Judge.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 12th, 2025, probable cause conference followed by preliminary examination, February 19th, 2025. Let me see, who's this gonna be in front of? In front of Judge Taylor.
And Your Honor, this is actually an HG case, so I won't be appearing.
Okay, charges are non-assaultive, will for fraud, and this is from 2019. And Counsel Reagan, you're gonna be asking for a personal bond, is that correct?
Judge, you are like a magician and can read my mind. I am.
Thank you. Hopefully I can read your mind on all these cases. But
Personal bond,
anyways,
sir.
yep, $10,000 personal bond. Mr. Drayton, nobody has to pay money for you to get out of jail. You understand that, sir?
He did, I didn't hear you, ma'am.
Bond is $10,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
That concludes your matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next thing, Jack Rob.
Flowers.
James.
What's your name, sir?
James Flowers, ma'am.
Is it James Anthony Flowers?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, let me call her.
Where's the magistrate at your stand? Not only do you have a criminal matter, but you also have some misdemeanor matters. These are misdemeanor matters where you did not show up for court. We're gonna recall the warrant. You're gonna get a personal bond on those misdemeanor matters. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on the misdemeanor matters is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. Understand everything that I've said so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the ticket number is P1646942. No insurance misdemeanor, drama license suspended. Court is gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court date is February 21st, 2025. Pre-trial from Judge Williams. Mr. Flowers, you have a right. Mr. Flowers, are you listening?
Yes, ma'am, but I got a bond on the traffic tickets already, ma'am.
Excuse me. I know you got a personal bond. Did you hear the court date?
Yes, on the 21st.
Yeah, February 21st. Sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, orally or writing, it can be used against you in the court of law. Right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Okay. That concludes the arraignment for the misdemeanor matters. Your criminal matter is 250-555-4501. Please say your name again, sir.
James Anthony Flowers, ma'am.
Thank you. I also have you listed as Jalen Javon Lee and as Anthony Anton Jackson. You have an attorney, sir. Go ahead, Counsel Reagan.
Philip Ray on behalf of Mr. Flowers, Judge, waive the reading, stand muted. He's been advised of his rights.
Thank you. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 12th, 2025. Probable cause conference followed by preliminary examination, February 19th, 2025. Both matters are in front of Judge Taylor. Okay, Mr. Flowers, some bond conditions. One is you're not to possess any firearms or any other dangerous weapons, including knives, stabbing, any type of stabbing objects, no pepper sprays, no tasers. Mr. Flowers, you're not to have contact with a Curtis Anthony Davis. That means no person-to-person contact, no contact with third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging, and you're not to go back to the McDougal residence while this case is pending. Do you understand those bond conditions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do.
Okay. Also, Counsel Reagan, does he need a police escort?
Judge, he does have an alternative place to stay. Do you need one time to get your belongings? Or do you need that? Yep, we could have, if we have one time, Judge,
Okay.
we could get an alternative.
Okay,
resolution.
sir. Thank you. You're gonna have a one-time opportunity, meaning you can only go there with a police escort to get some of your belongings. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the only time you can go there. Okay, Council Vincent, go ahead, ask the recommendation, please.
Thank you, Magistrate Steve Benson, P 71917. I think both defense counsel as well as your honor in the investigator's report sees that the report references a video that was taken, captured by the complainant in this matter. I had the opportunity to review that video. And if it would have been substantive to my argument, Magistrate, I would have provided it to defense counsel. It's not. I reviewed it, and after reviewing it, really what it comes down to is the people are going to be asking for a nominal personal bond. The conditions are fine, but that's the extent of our request.
Okay, and I know Council Reagan is gonna be asking for a personal bond, no objection. Is that correct, Council Reagan?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. In this case, Mr. Flowers, $25,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Any violations, not going to court without a reasonable explanation, sir, the next time you're gonna go, you're gonna have a monetary bond. So I'm telling you right now, don't go and break any of the bond conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. You know, I don't want to.
Okay, that concludes your arraignment. You can step aside, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Matthew Lewis.
Is that Matthew Anthony Lewis, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ms. Magistrate Chuck there, you hear a criminal matter, case number 250-4430601. You have an attorney. Go ahead, Council Reagan.
Praying on behalf of Mr. Lewis, Your Honor, waive the reading stamp duty, been advised.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court date is February 10, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Jones. Okay, Mr. Lewis, while this case is pending, you are not to go to the Texas de Brazil restaurant. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, Council Ragnan, recommendation.
People are asking for a $10,000 personal bond. He went to the restaurant, sat, ordered alcohol and food for $120.84, and then walked out. And he was arrested. He just said, "Well, I was hungry and I didn't have any money." So he's got a prior
Okay.
in 10-15-09. Thank you.
No objection to personal, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Lewis, you're gonna get a $10,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Just go to court, handle your matter. You understand that, sir?
You repeat that?
Sir, you're getting a $10,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Just go to court, handle your matter. Do you understand everything I said to you, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. You can step aside, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
How you doing, Mr. Reagan?
How you doing, Mr. Ryden? Good to see you.
Good. How about you?
Oh, doing great, thank you.
Stand right there, state your full. D.W. Peterson.
Sorry, what's your, oh, Peterson. You said Peterson. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's your last name. All right, Mr. Peterson, let's get your file. All right, Mr. Peterson, D.W. Scott Peterson.
Yes, ma'am.
Not only you here on a criminal matter, but you're also here on some misdemeanor matters, and these are misdemeanor matters. You didn't show up, so you're gonna get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The court is gonna recall the warrants. And maximum penalty on each misdemeanor is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. Understand everything that I've said so far?
Couldn't hear you.
All right, let's start again. You have some misdemeanor matters. You didn't show up for court. The court is gonna recall the warrants. You're gonna get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on each of misdemeanor matter is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. So far, do you understand what I've just said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty. Your court date is, your court cases are P 163, 1371, drama life suspended, no insurance misdemeanor. And the last ticket is 722806, no operator's license on person, no insurance misdemeanor. Court date is February 19th, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Ramsey Heath. Mr. Peterson, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, orally or in writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. Also, right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, criminal matter, case number is 250-555-4601. Say your name again, Mr. Peterson.
W. Scott Peterson.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, I have you as D.W. Scott Peterson, as well as Scott Peterson. And D. Scott Peterson, you have an attorney. Go ahead, counsel.
Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Peterson, Your Honor, waive the formal reading, stand mute. He has been advised of his rights. Good afternoon, Ms. Lisa.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 5th, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by preliminary examination, February 12th, 2025. Both matters are in front of Judge Giles. Mr. Peterson, while this case is pending, you are not to possess or use any illegal controlled substances. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Counsel Coyle, go ahead, ma'am.
Your Honor, Lisa Coyle appearing on behalf of the people. I note this is non-assaultive. It's 52 Adderall pills. But I do note that he does have a pending case that he's not arraigned on. It's case 25-554-5103. It is a UMP false pretenses case. Maybe we can have that file pulled and he can be arraigned on that matter as well today. But no objection to a personal on the possession of a controlled substance case.
Ms. Lisa? Do we have another on Mr. Peterson? What was that case number, ma'am?
I have it as 250-554-5103.
Can we see if that file is available? We'll see. Okay, all right. No objection to a personal bond? Again, you need the ticket, the case number, Mr. Peterson? Yes, no?
Yes, or no?
Stand by.
Hold on.
Oh, stand by. Miss Lisa, I can't hear you. Is she talking to me? Or is she talking to somebody? Okay. Okay. But we're gonna see if we can handle that matter, but for this, we're gonna enter a plea of not guilty. I believe I gave the court dates, and Counsel Coyle, no objection to a personal bond, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And Counsel Reagan, no objection to a personal bond, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Counsel Reagan,
Correct, Your Honor.
no objection?
Zero.
Okay, zero objection. Bond in this case is gonna be $25,000 personal bond. DDC, we may have another case on Mr. Peterson, so please have him stand by. Thank you. That,
Okay.
25,000 personal bond, Mr. Peterson, on this file. We'll see if there's another file that is available. So you can step
Okay,
aside,
thank
sir.
Sorry. Anybody lose Miguel?
Martinez, Leo, Leo Taylor. All right, let me get. Give me. Roderick Martin, sir? Is that your full name, Roderick Martin?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Martin, this magistrate at Chartea, case number is 250-5515-5501, and it is Roderick Allen Martin Jr., correct? You have an attorney? Go ahead, Counsel Reagan.
Lorraine, on behalf of Mr. Martin, waive the reading stamp duty. He's been advised of his rights, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 5th, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by preliminary examination, February 12th, 2025. Both matters are in front of Judge Robbins. Mr. Martin, while this case is pending, you are not to possess any firearms or any other dangerous weapons. You understand that?
Yes.
Counsel Reagan, Counsel Ragnan, your recommendation, please.
Primarily Reagan, Your Honor, people are asking for a $10,000 personal bond. It's a CCW case, Your Honor. He was cooperative and no prior.
No objection.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Martin, while this case is pending, you have a $10,000 personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Just go to court and handle your matter. You understand that? Understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Good luck. You can step aside, sir.
Appreciate it. Cordero McCallum.
Sorry, say that. What's your name again, sir?
Cordero McCallum.
Okay, all right, here we go. Cordell Ramon McKellar.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. McKellar, I'm magistrate at Chartea. Not only do you have a criminal matter, but you also have some misdemeanor matters. These are misdemeanor matters where you did not show up for court. Court's going to recall the warrants. You're going to get a personal bond, meaning nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on each misdemeanor is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. Understand everything that I've said?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first one is Z803516. It is violation of school ordinance. Next one is P1552928, driver license suspended, no insurance misdemeanor. And the last one is P274551, driver license not valid or improper license, no insurance misdemeanor. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Court date is February 21st, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Wagner. Okay, Mr. McCullough, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. Right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so criminal matter, case number is 250-55-31601, sir. You have an attorney. Go ahead, counsel.
Lorraine, on behalf of Mr. McKellar, Your Honor, waive the reading stamp mute. He's been advised of his rights.
Thank you. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 5th, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by a preliminary examination, February 12th, 2025. Both matters are in front of Judge Shakay. Okay, all right, Mr. McCullough, let's see, bond conditions. One is you're not to have contact with a Duranda Douglas. That means no person-to-person contact, no contact to third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging. You're not to possess any firearms or any other dangerous weapons. You're not to possess any ammunition of any kind. Okay, let's see what else. Do you understand those bond conditions, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, all right. Counsel Douglas, go ahead with bond recommendation, please.
Your Honor, Mr. McCullough, the people are going to ask for a bond of 50,000 cash as surety with teller house arrest. We do have concern for the safety of this complaining witness. Here we have an individual who has a PPO, and the lien indicated that it was served on November 22nd of 2024. So that means that it was in effect on the date of this incident, Your Honor, and this incident is quite recent, dating to January 12th of this year. So, Your Honor, when we have somebody who is ineligible to have a firearm and they allegedly have one, and there's also a PPO, we do have concerns for the safety of this complaining witness. This was supposed to have been around almost 1 a.m., Your Honor, when this lady decided to go to the store, and there allegedly the defendant was following her for some time in a vehicle before pointing a firearm at her. So, Your Honor, in order to secure the safety of this complaining witness, we're asking for 50,000 cash as surety, tether house arrest. We would note that when there was a search warrant done at Mr. McKellar's residence, that there was a firearm, a submachine gun that was recovered. And that description matches the description given by this complaining witness of the type of gun that was pointed at her. So that's why we're asking for that bond amount for safety.
Judge,
Stand by. Stand by for a moment. Magistrate Burton, did you want to sit in? Okay, so you don't want to sit in and do any of these cases? Well, you can go get one of my ropes if you want to do some more cases. So you tell me. Okay, I'm giving you that opportunity. Just want to know if you wanted to do something. Okay. All right, Counsel Reagan.
yeah, Judge, so, you know, there's always two sides to every story, Judge. My client, this is an ex-girlfriend in here, so they've been together, Judge. She knows exactly, you know, what he has at his house, what he doesn't have in his house. You know, first of all, Judge, he had no idea. And I know sometimes you see these PPOs that say they've been served, or a process server says they've done whatever. He says he had no idea about the PPO until this particular night or this particular day, Judge. She's been texting him. They've been calling him. She's been asking him to come over. They've been together. Now, she didn't get hurt here, Judge. And nobody points. He said he never pointed a gun at her. Nobody points guns and just leaves. If you're going to point a gun, you're going to shoot somebody. I mean, he didn't shoot her. He's not going to shoot her, not going to hurt her. And I just think that this is, you know, according to him, it's a lot fabricated and more than what actually happened. Obviously, you know, the write-up is very, very, very short write-up, very condensed write-up, because it's not really a lot to it, Judge. He says he didn't do it. He's not going to have any contact with her. He has 4 kids. He works every day at Great Lakes Wine. Judge, he has a good job. So, you know, I'm asking the court, Judge, you know, give him a personal bond. Just tell him to have no contact with her. He now knows that there is a PPO in place. He did not realize it because she was still contacting and calling him, you know, as though there was nothing in place. So it works both ways, Your Honor. It works both ways.
So first of all, there's PPO. It only works against the person that has the PPO against. It doesn't work against the complainant or the protected person. I would agree that maybe it should. However, but if that's to be, that's got to be a change in the law. Right now, okay. So
Judge,
right now in this particular matter, the court has heard that he was not aware of the personal protection order. As to that, however, I've heard arguments that the personal protection order was already served on him before the date of this incident. Okay. So I'm going to leave a lot of the arguments as to the alleged facts to the judge of record. And in that case, it's going to be Judge Shakay. So, but using clear and convincing evidence standard, okay, after hearing the attorney's representations, we started off with a personal bond basis. We're going to use that standard when we're using clear and convincing evidence. If we're going to entertain a monetary bond, and this court is entertaining a monetary bond, that the allegation is that he was served, okay, and that he was aware of it. And if he had been aware of it, one of those, I'm not going to assume, But usually when there's personal protection orders, no firearms of any kind. So I'm gonna believe this just happened recently, January 12th, 2025, just a few weeks ago. So this court is gonna adopt the recommendation that was proposed by Council Douglas. Council Douglas, was it 50,000 or 25,000?
It's 50,000 cash as surety with tether house arrest.
All right. So we are not gonna place him on house arrest. He's gonna be placed on a GPS tether, work only. We don't want him to lose his job.
Well, Judge, $50,000.
$50,000 cash surety. Court's gonna adopt that recommendation with the GPS work only. And seeing as that, I believe this is gonna be unaffordable. Is that correct, Council Reagan?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, that means he's gonna get another court date this Friday. Okay, it's gonna be January 31st, 2025, 9 o'clock in front of Judge McConaughey or Judge Williams, who will look at the bond amount and bond conditions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. McKellar?
Oh, Mr. McKellar, you're not gonna be
You
able to.
can step aside, Mr. McKellar. Let me say this. Mr. McKellar. You have the right to speak, but whatever you say is being recorded. So whatever you say is being recorded. This court does find you to be a danger, but you have another opportunity, because if you cannot afford this bond, you'll go in front of another judge in 2 days, Friday, today's Wednesday, and they will hear the arguments again, whether it's new arguments or different arguments, but they will look at your bond amount and bond conditions. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, I couldn't get a bond amount again.
50,000 cash.
Yes, sir. $50,000 cash surety. Anything else, Mr. McKellar? As to the,
One more thing. Does it seem weird to me that man heard that lady was, her last name was Douglas?
say that again?
The other lady that was just on her last name is Douglas as well.
He's saying that the prosecutor's last name is Douglas in the complaint.
That is not my relative. I have no relative by that name anywhere.
Okay. And Mr. McKellar, and if there is, APA Douglas would have informed the court and she would have excused herself from this case.
I apologize. No offense. I don't want to.
That's right. Okay. Anything else, sir?
No, ma'am, I apologize.
That's all right. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Please state your full.
Joshua Jackson. What's your name? Perfect.
Mr. Jackson, Joshua Jackson, sir. This is Magistrate at Chattanooga. You're hearing a criminal matter, case number 250-555-4801. And is Joshua Cecil Jackson, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You have an attorney. Go ahead, counsel.
Reagan, on behalf of Mr. Jackson, Your Honor, waive the reading stand mute. He's been advised of his rights.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Stand by for a moment. Court dates are February 12th, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by preliminary examination, February 19th, 2025. Both matters are in front of Judge Taylor. Mr. Jackson, while this case is pending, there's no assault or combative behavior. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Counsel Vincent, go ahead, Esteban, recommendation, please.
Thank you, Magistrate. Steve Vincent, P 71917. Not going to be objecting to personal here. We'll be requesting a tether. We'll leave it up to you. The allegations speak for themselves. He's found in the complaint.
Thank you. And Counsel Reagan, you don't object to a personal bond, correct?
Objection to personal bond, Judge. That's correct.
Yeah, but you do object to the tether, correct?
I do, Judge. He's no prior.
Okay. Okay, the court has looked at the allegations. The charges are non-assaultive. This is from January 27th. However, Mr. Jackson, along with another individual, allegedly participated in some of these charges, non-assaultive, and I don't see any priors. Counsel Douglas, Counsel Vincent, were there any priors as far as you know?
I don't have any priors. No, asking for that tether, as you can see, because he was fleeing from the police when they tried to detain him.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm gonna give Mr. Jackson a one-time opportunity, sir. You're gonna get a $25,000 personal bond. I'm not gonna be placing you on a GPS tether. Understand, okay? Understand, sir, Mr. Jackson. You don't go to court, it's violation of bond conditions. You don't follow your bond conditions. You start fighting, you start picking up other cases, you start behaving in a combative or assaultive manner, okay, with anybody that can get you where you can get arrested. I suggest you keep a hold on your temper, whatever it is, okay? So I'm gonna give you one chance, no tether, period, just a personal bond, 25,000, and the bond condition, no assaultive behavior. Do you understand that? All right, that concludes your arraignment. You can step aside, sir.
Your Honor, what time do you know if the juvenile is,
We're doing it after the rest of the males.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We still have to interview though, Judge.
Oh, he has not been interviewed?
No, he has not.
Okay, let's see, DDC.
But I think they have to call in, right? Because he's probably not at the Detroit Detention Center. He should be.
No. Okay, DDC is,
It's not, yeah.
okay, he's not at DDC then. Okay. Okay. And Wayne County hasn't, or the juvenile center hasn't called the court. All right. Hold on, let's see, who do we have here? Stand by. Eliza Dudley. How can I help you, ma'am? Eliza Dudley, how can I help you?
Oh, I was, my son's supposed to do arraignment court at 3:30.
Ma'am, you got the wrong courtroom.
Well, no, hold on.
3:30?
They just gave me this meeting ID at the JDF Center.
Yeah, so he's gonna call it at 3:30. So now we know the answer. They'll be calling in to us.
Okay, is this for the juvenile?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So Ms. Dudley, so the juvenile jail will or detention center will call us around 3:30?
That's all right.
Is that correct, ma'am?
I'm not sure. He just had a hearing this afternoon at the juvenile center, and they just gave me this meeting ID and said he would have an arraignment at 3:30.
Okay, well, I don't have any information that it's supposed to be at 3:30.
Number 4 on the
don't see
list,
that.
Judge. Number 4 on our list. Yeah. Four.
Okay, this juvenile doesn't say 3:30. I'm looking at it, just.
Okay.
I just have a contact person, okay, so, we have, I think 3 more files. We can do those, I think, in about a few minutes. We can do those and, can this? Okay. All right. We'll see if we can do this between 3 and 3:30. Let's see, what time is it? Hopefully, I think we need to call them. Okay, let them know. All right, so, as soon as we finish, if they can be called zoomed in, so we can have to put somebody in a breakout room with an attorney. Okay, the gentleman at DDC, what's your name, sir?
Blake.
Okay, they're gonna zoom in at 3:30. All right, 3:30 for the juvenile. Okay, I'm sorry, what's your name, sir? I apologize.
Sean Blake.
Deshaun Blake?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Blake, this is Magistrate Chartea. And let's see.
He has a co-defendant, Your Honor.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that, Counsel Coyle. DDC. Do you have a Mr. Johnson Lindsay? Okay, all right. So the gentleman in the white shirt, you are Deshaun DeAndre Blake?
Yes.
All right, sir, you are defendant 1 in this case. And the gentleman to your left in the black clothing, what's your name, sir?
Kenny Terry Johnson Lindsay.
Okay, sir, I'm Magistrate Chartea. Gentlemen, not only you here as co-defendants on a criminal matter, but you each have misdemeanor matters. The misdemeanor matters, we're gonna recall the warrants. You're gonna get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Maximum penalty on the misdemeanor matters are up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. Understand that, Mr. Blake?
Yes.
Okay, your ticket number is P1608595. Improper plates, drug with revoked license. Gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court date is February 26, 2025, in front of Judge Yancey. Okay, sir, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, orally or writing, it can be used against the court of law. Right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand everything that I said as to the misdemeanor matters.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, Mr. Johnson Lindsay, your misdemeanor matters are ticket number is P1457385. Driver's license never acquired. Ticket number is P1547520. Driver's license never acquired. Consuming marijuana while operating motor vehicle. Okay. Next ticket is P1573540. Driver's license never acquired. Next ticket is P1591928. Driver's license not valid and proper license. Driving under its untitled vehicle. Last ticket is P1591929. No insurance misdemeanor. Gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court date is February 21st, 2025, pre-trial in front of Judge Williams. Mr. Johnson Lindsay, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say, orally or writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. Have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to appoint an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand those rights that I gave you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me tell you what your criminal matter is. Case numbers 250-555-4901. Mr. Blake, you are defendant 1. Mr. Johnson Lindsay, you are defendant 2. You have defense counsel. Counsel Reagan, go ahead. You wait for the reading and stand mute.
Yes, Judge, that's the both gentlemen.
Thank you. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 6, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by preliminary examination, February 13, 2025. Those matters are in front of Judge Giles. And let's see. Both of you, gentlemen, while this case is pending, there's no assault or combative behavior while this case is pending. Do you understand that, Mr. Blake?
Yeah.
You understand that, Mr. Johnson Lindsay?
Yes.
Okay, Counsel Coyle, give me your bond recommendations.
As to Mr. Blake, the people are requesting, I understand it is a non-assaultive crime, but the people, based on his long history of car theft, Your Honor, the people are asking for 10,000 cash surety, tether, house arrest. He just got off parole for the same matters on June 17th, 24. As to Mr. Johnson Lindsay, I see him as, the only thing I see is a CCW that was taken under HIDTA status in 2024. I believe it's been completed at this point, Your Honor. So for that reason, the people are only asking for a $25,000 personal bond in this matter.
No, Judge,
Counsel Coyle, hold on. Counsel Coyle, can you tell me regarding Mr. Blake, was there any assaultive behavior on his part
Yes,
this
he was
case?
charged with an R&O, and he also fled from police on foot. Both of them did, in fact. They were being surveilled by Oakland County Commercial Auto Theft Unit in a backyard stripping cars. So it was a full-fledged operation.
Okay,
Yeah,
so hold on. So just I want to make sure. So Mr. Blake with the police, there was assaultive behavior.
Well, no, it's the R&O. It's the resisting. I'm sorry. He's
Okay.
obstructing by running from the police.
Yeah, I got that part. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it. Okay, first of all, let's go to Mr. Johnson. I believe Council Reagan, no objection to a $25,000 personal bond. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, that means you're getting a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. Do you understand that? You understand that, Mr. Johnson Lindsay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. That concludes your arraignment. You can step aside. Council Reagan, go ahead, ask to bond, reference to
Judge,
Mr. Blake.
you had asked an important question about assault. I think Ms. Coyle cleared it up. I don't think it was necessarily a physical assault, but more of an alleged non-compliance and fleeing situation with Mr. Blake. Judge, I understand he does have priors. But again, Judge, to me, this is non-assaultive on his face. It involves a chop shop, stealing cars, allegedly. So Judge, this is arraignment. So I'm just asking for purposes of moving this case along for personal bond, whatever conditions you set. Then he'll have his day in court. The jury can decide whether he's guilty or innocent. He can work a deal if he is in fact guilty of anything, but he's presumed innocent right now. So I just ask that the arraignment stage, he just be given a personal bond with no contact with obviously cars or whatever conditions his court set.
Okay, Council Coyle, did you want to respond to that?
If your honor is going to give him a personal bond, I'd be asking for at least a tether house arrest, your honor, in this matter. He just came off parole.
Okay. He's gonna, Mr. Blake, you're gonna get a $25,000 personal bond. Nobody's gonna pay, nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail, but you are gonna be placed on a GPS tether house arrest. Do you understand what I've just said so far, sir?
Yes.
Conclude your arraignment, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Council Reagan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Council Reagan. Okay, we have Mr. Hall. However, you need a defense counsel. I can put him in a breakout room.
Can we go in a breakout room? I believe Mr. Byrd is on here, Your Honor.
Mr. Byrd? I don't see a Mr. Byrd.
Hold on 1 second, Your Honor. Hold on 1 second.
Nope.
We're gonna have Mr. Byrd log in right now. I'm sorry.
Yep, okay. The gentleman at DDC? What's your name? Martez German Braxton?
Yeah.
Mr. Braxton, I'm magistrate at Judge Faster. You're here on a criminal matter, case number 21045555601. You have an attorney. Go ahead, counsel.
Celebrate on behalf of Mr. Braxton, Your Honor, waive the reading stamp. You've been advised of his rights, Judge.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Let's see. Court date is February 10th, 2025, pre-trial. Let's see who's that in front of. That's in front of Judge Jones. Okay, Mr. Braxton, while this case is pending, you're not to have any contact with a Marcus Jamel Braxton. That means no person-to-person contact, no contact with third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
I told that this is a 2021. This is a KBS from, looks like December 19th, 2022. Bond was set at $100, 10%. Council Douglas, you here on that case?
Yes, Your Honor. Jennifer Douglas for the people. Your Honor, we would ask in lieu of money bond there being a tether. This is Mr. Braxton's second case, KPS, that he's getting arraigned on. His other one had a similar age with the date of offense of May 4th of 22, Your Honor. And in that one, he failed to appear for court. And this one, this is his, looks like his third failure to appear, second failure to appear, Your Honor. And so we do believe that there's a demonstrated flight risk. So we're asking for a tether in lieu of money bond.
Do you have any other cases, Council Douglas?
Yes, Your Honor. You just arraigned him on a KPS, I think this morning, where he had failed to appear for a pretrial June 24th of 2022. And then he was arraigned on that bench warrant. Looks like November.
$100, 10%.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I continued it, and he's got a bond redetermination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Council Reagan, go ahead.
Yeah, $10, Judge. We're just asking for a personal bond. It's $10, Judge. I mean, and I understand it's an older case. We want to get it resolved now. I don't think a tether or a monetary bond is necessary in this particular case. I think Mr. Braxton now understands there were a few cases previously, but I think he understands now, Judge. He was going through some difficult times back in 2021, Judge. He's had multiple deaths in his family. They had a lot of things happening. Right now, he's clear, wants to come to court, gets these things resolved. He has a pre-trial date of February 10th. He knows that. And I think a personal bond, Judge, would be in order. These bonds weren't like high KPS bonds. They were $10, Judge. So I'd ask the court to take that into consideration too.
I appreciate everything that you've said, sir. But in this particular matter, while this court does have the authority to modify a misdemeanor KPS, we're going to keep it as is. He's also going to get a bond redetermination for this Friday, January 31st, 2025, in front of Judge McConaughey or Judge Williams, who'll look at the bond amount. However, if he makes bond on both matters or either one of those, Mr. Braxton, you do not have to appear for the court date for Friday. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That concludes your arraignment.
Judge, we have that other case for Mr. Peterson, that second case.
Okay, we're gonna do that in a moment. Okay, and we have Council Byrd. Council Byrd, we're gonna put you in a breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Let's see what we have. It's going to be Shamani Hall. That should go. All right. Now, the gentleman at EDC, what's your name?
E.W. Scott Peterson.
Let's see. All right, Mr. Peterson, this is the other case. Case number is 250-5545-103. You are defending 3 in this case. Uttering publishing the document. So it's from 2024. Council Reagan, wait for Maureen Stamu.
I do, Judge. Wait the form, Maureen Stamu.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are February 5th, 2025, probable cause conference, followed by plenary examination, February 12th, 2025. And let's see, who is this going to be in front of? It's going to be in front of Judge Giles. Okay, all right. Council Coyle, what was your recommendation again, ma'am?
No objection to a personal bond in this matter, Your Honor, not assaultive.
No objection, Judge.
Okay. Okay, bond in this case, Mr. Peterson, it's gonna be $5,000 personal bond. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that concludes your arraignment. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail on this matter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just go to court, handle your matter.
Yeah.
Did all that. $1,000 personal bond. Thank you, Council Coyle, for this information.
No
All right, BDC, do you have a Miguel Baez?
He is not here.
Okay. Not at DDC.
All right.
That takes care of that. All right, DDC, I believe that takes care of everybody
Yes, ma'am.
except for the female. All right, I'll see you on the female side.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Sure, I hope so. I am. Oh, gosh.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Andrea Bussey?
Andrea Aaron Bussey, ma'am?
Yes.
Ms. Bussey, this magistrate at Chattanooga. Ma'am, not only are you here on a criminal matter, but you also have some misdemeanor matters where you didn't have to show up for court. So we're gonna recall those warrants on the misdemeanor matters. You're gonna get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on each misdemeanor is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. Do you understand everything I've said so far, ma'am?
Can you repeat that, ma'am? I'm sorry.
Sure. You have misdemeanor matters. You did not show up for court. There was warrants out for your arrest. We're gonna recall the warrants. You're gonna get a personal bond. Nobody has to pay any money for you to get out of jail. The maximum penalty on each misdemeanor is up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Okay, gonna enter plea of not guilty. First case is ticket P 11389998, open alcohol motor vehicle. Next case is P 1446610, travel license suspended. Last case is X 3988267, no operator's license. Again, enter plea of not guilty. Court date is February 21st, 2020.